Hey everybody, welcome to All Keys Pro. This is Jeff, and today we're going to do something sort of fun for me. We're going to do some soloing on the Moog Matriarch, and we're going to be soloing in paraphonic mode. And along with paraphonic mode, the setting is going to be round robin. So in the round robin mode, every key that you depress, every note that you play, moves up to the next oscillator. So there's 4 oscillators. So that's one oscillator, that's the next oscillator, that's the next, that's the next. So you get 4 possibilities for pitch and timbre. And I found it to be pretty interesting to mess with this and really getting results that you cannot get out of just a mono synth or a polysynth. Just as far as opening up kind of different sounds and different, really get different effects of the notes that you're playing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little Giant Steps, John Coltrane's Giant Steps. I made a little sequence here on the TR-8S drum sequence, little hip hop thing, and also on the I've got a bass line coming from the chord monologue. So, and I'm going to be soloing on the Moog Matriarch. And what I've done is just real simply put the 4 oscillators in different octaves. So whenever I can be playing all within an octave, but it's going to be jumping up and down octaves as I'm playing along. And it's a really cool effect, one that I could never do actually just soloing, because it's too crazy and it's a little bit random. It's actually not random. It's every 4 oscillators it cycles around. But when you're playing notes, when you're playing lines that are 7 notes per line, or 5 or 13 or even 6, where it jumps up and down octave-wise changes as far as how that lines up with the beat and the changes and the chord changes. So it's really cool effect. So I'm just going to play a little bit for you guys and show you how that works. All right, here we go. Fun stuff. And as you can see, I was soloing really within a couple octaves at the most, but you're getting all these big jumps in octaves, which takes a line which would kind of sound, oh, that's the kind of line you would play on Giant Steps, and kind of turns it into something a little bit more fresh sounding and almost unrecognizable. It's really a cool thing. I'm going to move now to playing with the pitch of the oscillators. So that was just having the oscillators in different octaves. Now I've set the oscillators to a root and a 4th and a 5th and another root. So if I just play one key, so I'm going to play C, I get 3 different pitches just by repeating one note. So I'm just going to play C, 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 C. B, ba, B, ba. So that's C, F, C, G. Just by playing C. So what happens then, if I start to play like something really simple, like just a diatonic scale, just a C major scale. First thing we ever learn as a piano player, practically. All white notes. You get some really interesting effects, and most of the notes are still going to be within the key of C, and I made a little graph here, which I'm going to put up on the screen. So there are only two notes that are possibilities which are outside the key of C when I play this, because of the symmetry of the fourths and the fifths on each note. So when I play the F, my possibilities are F, B flat, and C, and then the top F. And so the B flat's out of the key, and then when I play a B, the possibilities of the note that's going to sound are B, E, F sharp, and then the B again. And I set two of the notes on the root tone just to ground it a little bit more. I found that if I used four different notes, it got a little bit too crazy as far as how it was messing with the tonality. This way just kind of stretches the intervallic relationship of notes, but pretty much stays within the tonality. So check this out. So I'm just going to play a major scale. First I'm going to play just four notes on C. Okay, so now I'm going to play straight up C major scale. So that's pretty interesting, right? As opposed to just a C major scale. So then what happens is if you play patterns, four note patterns, that four note pattern, the shape of it will repeat. So check this out. So again, there's some notes that are those two notes outside of the key, and you can hear those here and there. There's a B flat and F sharp, which kind of happens. But listen to that again. So. And I'm just going 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I play it fast, it's something like. Really cool. If I play three notes, then the pattern changes because I have three notes repeating in the pattern. The pattern is three notes, and with four oscillators, it's like, I don't know, every 7 measures that would line up or something. So it sounds more like this. Right? So I'm just going straight up the scale in three note patterns: C, D, E, D, E, F, E, F, G. And when I play like a rhythmic line over that, it gets really interesting. Check this out. And again, if I play it quickly, it gets kind of crazy and cool. And if I combine these, you get some really crazy results, really interesting results actually, which I would never be able to think of that. Those kind of intervallic results. So yeah, I find those results to be really interesting and quite fun, and really I think it's kind of a fresh sound to me. What I did notice when I was playing, when I was practicing this for the past couple days and playing with this concept, if I play something which is kind of like in a more chromatic, bebop-ish kind of world, it doesn't sound as good. It doesn't sound as interesting. It just kind of gets a little bit too chaotic. Like if I were to play something like. it gets a lot more nonsensical. And if I were to play something kind of in the pentatonic kind of realm, it's a little bit more convincing. So this is just C pentatonic. That's interesting, a little bit more interesting to me, but if it's literally the most simple thing, if it's just diatonic, I think the results are the most successful in that way. So, if I was doing a recording and there was like a tune that was, say, in like C minor, let's pick a different key. So let's say it was in F minor. So there's say there's an F bar, an 8-bar solo written, and it's my job as keyboard player to record a solo in F minor, but I want something a little bit different. I might set something up like this. So there's the key. So I might play. And the results might be a solo which I never would have possibly been able to think of in just a normal sort of up and down, straight ahead way of playing. This is not something that I would recommend doing every night on your gig, but I think it's an interesting effect, and it's an effect that is pretty easy to achieve on something like the Matriarch, which is paraphonic, and the round robin mode, which is impossible to achieve just on a piano or a Rhodes or a monophonic or a polyphonic synthesizer. The paraphonic mode is really unique, and I think it's one of the reasons I don't think I'll ever sell the Matriarch, because it's just it's deep as far as patching. It's got all this sort of modular capabilities as far as patching, which can get really interesting. But it's also got this paraphonic stuff, which I think it makes it a really one-of-a-kind, kind of unique kind of synthesizer. Cool. All right, lastly today, I'd like to do another little, it's a simple thing, and this is actually something that you can do with a lot of monophonic synthesizers. It's cool on the Moog Matriarch because there's 4 oscillators. So you can set the different oscillators to different pitches and you get this sort of shape. This is something that's been heard a lot in 4ths and 5ths in pop music. I'm doing a 4th and a 5th, so it's kind of like a sus chord, like a C, F, G, like a C sus. When I move that parallel shape around, which is symmetrical over like a chord progression, which is asymmetrical, or even just one chord. We can do F minor again. It's a really interesting effect because it does go kind of in and out of the key in a way which is enough to make your ear kind of go, but not to like be really put off, put-offing. Put-offing? Is that a word? Not in a way that would put you off from sort of digging it and liking it. The dissonance is not that strident, I guess. So I'm going to just play a little bit of that for you. So here's the sound. Yeah, so these are just all some ideas to utilize the paraphonic mode on your Matriarch, just to get some kind of new and fresh ideas. We're always looking for the next thing, so maybe this will lead to your next thing. All right, guys, thanks for being here. Please like and subscribe my channel. that really helps me grow things and keeps this going. And I'll be able to bring more content to you weekly. All right, everybody, take care.